Kalkalosh, Boker Or, Masechet, Batra Daf Yomi, Daf Kuf Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph 133a1. We were going to now say a third story because basically we just finished off by saying that Rav Kahana argues on Rav Papa and he tells Rav Papa, Ilu Adar Kani, if the Baal would come and be Koneh Nechasim Acherim, she wouldn't take it. Vekivan Ilu Adar Kani, and if she would take it, Shakla, so now she's also going to take it. Fine, but this is going to be now the third story. Okay, we are on Hahu. Okay. So everyone has it. The second line, Hahu de Palginu. Okay, Hahu de Palginu lenichse liitete velivne. Somebody comes and he was mechalek his nechasim between his wife and boys. Yeah, shayer chad dikla. He left over one dekel that he didn't divide. Savar Ravina Lamima. So Ravina thought to say let la el chad dikla. Yeah, she's only going to have one dekel, right, in order to collect her ketubah. So Amal Ravina. If you're going to tell me that she doesn't have the zechut to collect from the nechasim that was given to the boys, so she just didn't even get the one. Ela rather, migo de nachta ledikla nachta nami lekuli nechse. Just like she could go to the dekel and collect whatever it is from the ketubah, so she should be able to collect from all the nechasim. So Amar Ravuna, right? So therefore, that is the two. So it's two different shitot. First shita, that really be'emet, she only gets one decade, and that's the only thing that she could take because that's what was mishtayer, and therefore, since it was mishtayer, that's what she could collect. Second one was no, 1 second, manoshach. If you're already going to tell me that she does not get anything, so even the one decade she doesn't get. If you're going to tell me, so migu, she could go get the decade, she could get everything. Now we're going back to the shchimena. Amar Ravuna, says Ravuna, shchimena, shekatav kol nechasav leacher. You have a shchimena that wrote all his properties to somebody else. Now, he didn't say whether it was a matana or a yerusha. He just said, nechasai leploni. His properties to ploni. Ro'inim ra'ui liyorsho, notla nishum yerusha. Ve'im lav, notla nishum matana. We're going to see what is fitting. Is it fitting for him to come and to be yoresh? So therefore, it's a yerusha. If it's fitting for him to come as a matana, it's a matana. Yeah? Fine. So says the Gemara, yeah, says the Gemara, Amaleh of Nachman, says of Nachman, Ganava ganuve lamalach. Yeah, he comes and he says, Ganava ganuve lamalach. Why is it that you're going to be mitganev? Right? What does that mean? He says, why are you saying this in secret? He says, Isvira lecha. He says, if you're going to come and you're going to hold, right, like Rabbi Yochanan Meruka, just say alachaz like Rabbi Yochanan Meruka. Yeah, deha shmatatech Rabbi Yochanan Meruka dazla, because your shimwa is going like Rabbi Yochanan Meruka, that he said that if right now it's going to be one of the yorshim, so therefore it's going to be yerusha. That's like Rabbi Yochanan Meruka, that a person could be machil all his properties to one, right, to one yoresh. So we continue the Gemara. Dilma ki hadeka amarta, right? That which we said, right? That which we actually came and we said, right? Dahu davakashachiv ramnula, and they said nichse leman, right? Who do you give the nechasim to? He says dilma leplania. Maybe you're going to give it to Ploni. Vamalu, and he's going to say ela leman to who? So he says vamartlan ala, and we are going to say im ra'ui liyorsho notla mishum yerusha. If he's fitting for yerusha, he's going to get it as yerusha. Im lav, and if not, notla mishum matana. You're going to take it from matana. So Amaleh, he says inachi kamina. You're right. That was exactly my kavanah. Meaning, I didn't have the kavanah to be posek like Rabbi Yochanan Meruka, but rather to teach that a shchiv merah that writes all his properties bestam lifamim ze matana velifamim ze yerusha. One more time, Rabbi Yochanan Meruka is that a person's allowed to change from the yerusha ben abanim or bat ben abanot, right? But what does that mean? That the same level you could come and you could change. But here, that's not what he's teaching. Here he's teaching, the guy comes and he writes his property stam. The guy. To another guy. Lifamim ze matana, lifamim ze yerusha. Hakol talui ba closeness. If he's able to inherit him, ze yerusha. If he's not able to inherit him, so then it's a matana. Okay? So says the Gemara, l'may ilchata. What do I care? Meaning if he's a close kin, he's a family member, he's able to inherit him. Now the question is, what do I care? What's an afkamina? At the end of the day, he's getting it. So what do I care if he's getting a mitzad yerusha or he's getting a mitzad matana? So Sava Ravada Barava come in the Rava Lemimar. So thought Ravada Barava in front of Rava to say, Im Ra'ui Liyorsho, if the Mekabel is Ra'ui Liyorsho, Almanato Nizona Min Chasav. So then the Almana is going to be Nizona Min Chse Yorshe Abal. Yerusha. Im Lav, but if not, En Almanato Nizona Min Chasav. She doesn't get it. Why? Because since he already gave it as a present, right, she doesn't get it. It's not a Yerusha. By Yerusha, a woman comes and that she's Almana, she continues eating until she gets married. Remember, once a woman gets married, she's cut off completely. There's no connection anymore, right? People they don't realize that. Yeah. No, he can't give it to the kids. The second he gives it to the kids, no, he can't. That's it. So, Amale Rava, מה זה הקומבינה? ברגע שהוא נותן לבן אדם הזה, הוא עושה קומבינה עליו, הוא לא נותן לילדים, מה הקשר? ודאי.
כי זה הפואנטה. למה הוא לא ייתן זה לאשתו?
הוא אף פעם לא נותן לאשתו.
לא סיימתי. למה הוא לא ייתן לאשתו?
Fine, I'm continuing. Amale Rava, afterwards. Amale Rava, right? Says Rava, Migra Gara, he says, are you going to come and say that you're going to make it worse for the almana because he's coming and giving it to as a present? Hashta birusha doraita marta almenatonu lizenu min chasav b'matana midrabanam lo kol shken. He comes and he does a kal vachomer. What's a kal vachomer? Right now, Yerusha is doraita. Yes. If by Yerusha doraita the almana gets fed from the properties until she gets remarried, so matana, this is called matana shchimina, a present of a shchimina, that's only midrabanan. So kushken that she should be able to come and take from the properties as long as she's an almana. It's a kal vachomer. If on the doraita she's able to come and she has a claim and she could eat from the properties until she gets remarried, kal vachomer on a drabanan. Ela amarava, but rather Rava comes and he says, "Metanat shchivin as drabanan," right? But he says, "Kedeshalach Ravach bar Avia, right? Ledivre b'Yocham Emroka, nechasa lecha v'acharecha leploni, im haya rishon roi lirsho, en l'sheni minkom lishon klum, she'en zel l'shon matana l'shon Yerusha. Yerusha en la hefsek." What does that mean? He comes and he says this. According to what we just said now, right? There's another chiluk. Imagine right now a person comes and he says, it's going to go to this person, and then afterwards to another person. So he says, let's see 1 minute. If right now the first person was fitting Yerusha, so the second, meaning Bitor Yerusha, the second person does not get anything. Right? It goes to the Yoresh Rishon and Kaddish. Why? Enzel Lashon, it's not a matana. El Lashon Yerusha. It's Yerusha. Yerusha en la hefsek. Yerusha does not have a hefsek, which means that it continues going. He cannot come and change from Yerusha and say, you know what? When he passes away, he wants it to go to Mr. A. And when Mr. A passes away, he wants it to go to Mr. B. He comes and he says, if right now Mr. A was fitting to inherit him, that's it. If the buck stops there. And then after Mr. A dies, it does not go to Mr. B. It goes to the inheritors of Mr. A. Why? Because since Mr. A was fitting to inherit him, so therefore it's not a matana, it's a Yerusha. There's no pasek, so therefore it continues going down. If you're going to tell me that it was matana, yeah, you could do that. He's giving it to a matana to Mr. A, and after Mr. A, when he dies, it goes to Mr. B. The children, Mr. A, yeah, 1 second, but this was a present on condition that you could do. But Yerusha, you cannot do such a thing. So Amale Rava, Rav Nachman, says Rava to Rav Nachman, he says, what are you talking about? When he says V'acharecha leploni, he made that hefsek. So then that's it. So he says, Hu savar sheyesh la hefsek, v'Rachman amar en la hefsek. He says what? Does the noten thought that there's a hefsek, but the Torah says there's no hefsek, which means, right? But the person here was giving matana was matana ma shekatuv b'Torah. V'chol matana ma shekatuv b'Torah. Nothing. You went against the Torah. It doesn't work. Okay, kufla migim lemubet. Another story. So somebody comes and he tells his friend, no. Yeah, you want to bring me the phone? He comes and he tells his friend, my properties are to you, and then afterwards to another person. First person was fitting to inherit him. The first one died. So the second guy comes, he wants to take it. Remember, should take it. Amarle, he told him, Dayane de chatzatzta achidaine. Says that's what you do pshara. He says, Lav hainu deshach. That's the question of Racha barav Aravia. If he was mitbayesh, Hare ale, he went and he read upon himself, Ani Hashem b'itach yishena. What does that mean? There's some certain times that the tzaddikim, they needed Yeshua. HaKadosh Baruch Hu finds them Yeshua. So therefore, Rava was coming and giving him a hint. I know shemeolam lo ba'takal al yadcha. Because the HaKadosh Baruch Hu will always come and put me here in order to make sure that you won't make a mistake in the psak. Meaning, even though he was going to make a mistake in the psak, he was actually going to give it to the shani. Right? He was going to. So no. Mina Shemaim, they brought him there to show him that the halacha is not like that. So therefore, the second guy does not take anything. Fine. Mishnah, Kufla Megimel Mubet. Hakotev et nechasav la'acherim. You're going to write the property to somebody else. V'niach banav, and you left your children without nothing. Wallo, you gave the children nothing, and you gave everything to somebody else. Ma she'asa, asui. Whatever you did, you did. That's it. Ela en ruach hachamim nocha imenu. But the rabbis are not happy. The rabbis are not happy with that. Why? Because at the end of the day, you're being oker, the nachalav, the Torah. So therefore, even though you did it, chazak baruch, you wrote everything, and it was a matana. You gave everything, it was a matana. Meaning, it wasn't that you did something wrong, that you gave a yirusha to somebody. No. You give it as a matana. Matana, you're allowed to. And you did it. But at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, right, you did this. So he says, Rashbag Omer, Rabbi Shimon says, Im lo ayu banav noagim kashura, right? If the children were not being noheg kashura, zachul letov. What does that mean? Right? It's good that he did that. Why? They're not behaving. Sometimes you have to give them on the head. So how do you give them on the head? Took away the nachala. That's it. Fine. Says the Gemara. Ibai lehu. So we're going to ask the following question: Mi plige rabbanan aled rashbag olo? Does the rabbis argue on rashbag or not? Meaning, are Chachamim coming and being modim that are they arguing or not? Is there a machloka between Rashbag and Chachamim or not? Because remember, the Rashbag only says if he didn't have good children. Well, Chachamim never said that. So are they arguing or not? So Tashema, Yosef ben Yoezer ben he had a boy that was not acting properly. Yosef ben Yoezer had a kli full of dinarei zahav. He went, he was makdish. Azil nasi bat gadal kli lediyanai malka. Right, the son went and he got married to the daughter of Kolea Trotav Shel Yanai Melech. Olida Dvitu, his wife gave birth. Zavin la binita, and he bought a fish. Kar'a, he opened it up. The Ashkach ba Margalita, and he found a margalit. Amra le, so he went and he told his wife, La tamti Elmaleh, don't bring it to the Osem Tachshita Melech to sell it to them. Right? The Shakle la minach b'dmei kalile, but they're going to buy it for you very, very cheap. Zil amti legabe gizbare. Go to the gizbar of the Ekdesh and sell it to them. Velo teshai me'at, and don't put the price itself, right? Which means don't put the price, because if you do that, you're obligated to do it in the price that you gave it, and then you can't be choser. Because remember, whenever you say to the gavoa, to the Ekdesh, is like giving it over. Ela l'shaymiu inu, but let them evaluate it. Amtiye. So she brought it. Shamua betleisa d'iliyata dedinene, and they went and they put it in 13 kelim full of dinarei zahav. Amri lei. So the Gizbarim went and he said, Sheva ika, Shiva kelim we have, right? Shit leka, but we don't have 6. So he says, Amar lehu. So he went and he said, give me havuli, give me the 7. Shit harem gdushot shamayim, and 6 are going to be mudash shamayim. Amdu v'katvu. So they wrote down. Yosef ben Yoezer hichnis echad, ubeno hichnis 6. V'ikade amre Yosef ben Yoezer hichnis achat, ubeno hotzi 7. Meaning he gave in 1, and the son was able to take out 7. So basically, it was like bringing a proof that don't think that you're in control, and because your son is not acting properly, you're not going to come and you're going to ki'ilu take away his Yerusha. If it's fitting for him, he's going to get even much more. And that's exactly what happened in the story. He took even much more because the father only had 1 bucket of golden coins. He now has 7 buckets of golden coins. No, 7. 6 he gave to the Ekdesh. Right? 7 he took, and 6. Yeah, and 6, right? Yeah. It depends where you send your children, if they have school or not. He comes and he says, from the fact that he says that he's bringing in the tzarot to the Ekdesh, right? Miklal, the Shapi Ravad. Yeah. He says it's mashma that Yosef ben Yoezer, he did like the din, from the fact that he didn't, that he came and he was Megdish, is Nechasim, and he didn't give it to his children, that's the problem. Yeah, he says, Adraba, the opposite. Midika Amri, right? From the fact that Otzi, Miklal de Lav Shapi Ravad. So it's mashma that he didn't do it properly. You can't bring a proof from here. It says it's mashma Yosef ben Yoezer did shelo kadin because of that maaseh shehu michnis et legdesh nitgalgala chova, and therefore it was like that means basically from here it came out bad because ki'ilu, the fact that he went and he gave it to Ekdesh, it's ki'ilu now that the Ekdesh had to start taking out money, meaning ki'ilu that because of his actions he caused the Ekdesh to lose. So says the Gemara, okay, fine. So my havila. So what's bemet halacha? If you cannot come and bring a proof from this story, so therefore, what are you gonna? So what's the answer then? So he says like this, okay? Tashema, yeah. The Amal Shmuel Rav Yehuda says Shmuel to Rav Yehuda, Shinana, sharp one. Lo tehave be ibure achsanta. He says, yeah, al tiye nochach, in a place where they're going to, meaning don't be in a place where they're changing an achala from one person to another person. And even from a bad boy to a good boy. The more so from a son to a daughter. So from here is a proof that don't be there. It's not good. You're taking it from a bad child. No, don't be there. You shouldn't be there. Why? It's not good. So therefore, don't be there. Okay? There's the Gemara. Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in the Braita. So one more time. So afterwards, we went and we asked the question, no, is it good or not? So we came and we answered, no, that never be in a place where they're going to change nachala, whether it's going to be from a bad boy to a good boy or from a girl to a boy. Don't be there. What does it mean don't be there? Zelotov. Capish? Very good. Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in a Braita story. There was a story with a person that his children were not acting properly. He wrote everything to Oziel. What did Oziel do? Machar shlish, he sold the third. Higdish shlish, he consecrated the third. V'yechzil lebanav shlish, and he gave back to the children of shlish. Ba'alav Shamai b'maklo v'tarmilo, comes Shamai, and he wanted to start hitting him. Yeah, that he can't give it back. What's he doing? Because the Tanav Shamai is that it's muchach from the actions of the noten that he didn't want him to go back. So what's going on? Elmaleh, he said Shamai. אם אתה יכול להוציא את מה שמכרתי, מה שהקדשתי, אתה יכול להוציא מה שהחזרתי. He went and he told him, listen, if you could take out from the Ekdesh and you could take out that which I sold, and take out that which I gave back to them. He did it, by the way, מאוד בחוכמה, לא יודע אם שמתם לב. He didn't want that the children are always going to be so much against him. So what did he do? He gave them a piece also. He gave them a third. He wanted to give to the Shamayim, because it's actually very important that whenever a person gets fortune, the first thing that he should do in order to get out of the Ain Hara, says the Gemara, yes, he should give a part to the tzedakah immediately to get rid of the Ain Hara. So right away, tzedakah, boom, he gives it. And then he went and he sold it, and by selling it, he will never have it in his possession anymore. But he's got the cash. Because if he has it, every single time the children come, they're going to say, look at this guy. You know those properties? They belong to my father. He went right away, sold it. Now it's only cash. It's cash. People, it's not tangible. V'imlav, and if you cannot take out from that which I went and he did, you can't take it out from that which I give back to the boys. Shammai came and he said, Hetiach alai ben Oziel, right? Hetiach alai ben Oziel. He says, you know what? You won me. Yeah, you won me.